Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you for tuning in. And today I want to talk about 5 ways to up your fish keeping game in 2023. 5 ways, plus 2 bonus ways at the end of this video. So stay tuned for those. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Way number one to up your fish keeping game in 2023, diversify. And by that what I mean is explore and get into different kinds of fish. In 2022, I got into South American, Central American cichlids. I added a community tank to my collection of African cichlids, and even got into planted tanks a little bit, and even live bearers and betta fish. So this has opened up whole new horizons, whole new vistas for me, and has forced me to research and find out about different kinds of fish diets, habits, compatible tank mates, and the necessary tank conditions for these fish to thrive. And it's just opened up a whole different world for me, and by doing so has definitely increased my interest and my enjoyment in the hobby. So tip number 1, diversify. But think about it, think about that. And if you've added a fish recently, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know what your experience has been like. Tip number two, learn about different kinds of filtration systems and start diversifying and adding filtration. Again, if you've got systems that are working and you don't want to mess with them, I get it, but why not explore a little bit? If you've never had a hang-on back, try a hang-on back. If you've never had an internal, or even something as simple as a sponge, mess around with it. See if there's an application within what you're keeping for that kind of filtration. Or maybe it's time for you to mess around with a sump and learn about a sump system. So consider it as part of the learning process. Research on it, watch some videos, and jump in. Why not? You might like it. So learn about different kinds of filtration systems. Point number 3, start keeping a detailed log on changes that occur in your tanks. Fish disease, fish death, the adding of fish, the changing of filtration, the adding of decor, removing of decor, water change schedule, anything really that you might be doing with your fish, with your tanks, record it somewhere. And you'll be surprised how many times you can go back and look at a change that was made and come up with a conclusion why things are a little bit different in the aquarium, both positive and negative. So keep a detailed log. It can be something as simple as notes on your cell phone, in the notes app of your cell phone, or in my case, I keep a large dry erase board and an ongoing record of what's going on in the fish room on that dry erase board. Point number 4, be familiar with fish disease before anything happens, and the kind of medications that you might need, and have those medications on hand. So very often we find ourselves in a situation where we don't know what's going on. Something's not right with the fish. Maybe they're gasping at the top. Maybe they have a strange, something strange on their, on their body. Maybe there's some fin rot. Maybe there's a strange marking on the body that might be indicative of something like colomaris, maybe velvet, maybe maybe fin rot. Become familiar with diseases. Watch a few videos, maybe read a few blogs out there, and have on hand the kind of medications that you might need for those kinds of diseases. Don't wait until it shows up and here you are at 9 p.m. trying to find some place that has the medication that you need. So study fish diseases, how they appear, what they look like, and possible cures. Number five. Number five I think is really important. Number five is backup. Have backup. And by backup what I mean is have some filters that you're not using, up in a closet somewhere, up in a cabinet that you can pull out and use in the event of a filter failure. Also consider having multiple forms of filtration on your tanks, and each form capable of sustaining or supporting the tank in the event that the other filter fails. Another form of backup that I've talked about in a prior video is to have a power supply, some type of a power supply. This is one that I did a video on, and I'll include a link up here somewhere on it, and it's by a company called All Powers, and it allows you to have both DC and AC backup, and you can see it here. It's basically like a mini car battery, and it can provide many hours of backup. If you choose AC, you can plug in. You have several plugs here. I plug a couple power strips into it in the front, and let's say I'm running internal filters that are 35 watts, or maybe some Shisei 6 watt, 10 watt type internal filters. If I'm running something more heavy duty like a sump pump or a canister, I can run maybe 3 hours on this, and so you have a couple outlets. You have USB, your C and other types of USBs. You also have even a lighter type, like a cigarette lighter type you'd have in a car. That kind of an input. So it gives you a lot of variety. You can even charge a cell phone by laying it on top of it. So this is from All Powers. This is the smaller unit, and I can get many hours of use out of this one. Even has, in the event that you have lights that are out, you have a very high-powered flashlight that can guide you around the fish room, get you underneath the tanks to see what's going on in the event of a complete power outage. So have some type of a backup available. And here's a couple bonus tips for you. Some of these tips may or may not be possible due to space, due to budget, things like that. I get it, but certainly do what you can. Just to add one additional point to the backup, have a tank, have a spare tank set up if you can. Have it set up, have it cycled and ready in the event that a fish needs to be removed and added to it for medicating, for disease, or maybe a fish in the event of, like for us cichlid keepers, we're very familiar with having to remove a fish that's being harassed or beaten up or being overly aggressive. So having a tank set up and ready to go, that would be a great way to up your game in 2023 if you don't already have that. A bonus tip, start a YouTube channel. Now, whether you want to start a channel and have it blow up and be big and popular, or whether you're using YouTube just as a way to store a video record of what's going on in with your tanks. You can upload videos and you can share them, you can keep them private, you can allow only certain people to watch the videos, people that you provide the link to. There's lots of ways to run your YouTube channel, and YouTube is offering you an opportunity to use their resources. So as a sort of massive cloud storage. So utilize it. And who knows, maybe you'll get the bug and start sharing your videos publicly, but whether you do or not, you're going to have an ongoing video record of the evolution of your tanks that you can go back and refer to, and it's kind of cool to have that. and YouTube is offering that to you for free. Point number 7, and I've said this before. I've said it in my most popular video, the 10 tips video that I released many years ago. I think it's, I don't know, it's got over 500,000 views. I'll put a link up there somewhere. But this is the best tip I could give you, the best tip, and that's to have fun. Always have fun with your fish keeping. If it starts to tip over into the area of work and chores, and it's tedious and you're not liking it anymore, go back to when you were having fun, or you're going to be a fish keeping burnout, and you're going to end up abandoning the hobby and putting your tanks and equipment on Craigslist. So don't go that route. If it starts becoming too much work, go back to that point you were having fun and get rid of all the extra stuff you added and make it fun again. Because if it's not fun, why bother, right? It should be something that you're really enjoying, get a lot of satisfaction out of, and it should be, yeah, there's going to be work, there's always work, and you've got to do the work, but definitely have fun. That is top priority, and do what you can to recover the fun if you ever find that it's gone. All right, so those are my tips for upping your fish keeping game in 2023. If you have some, or if you have some changes that you've made that made a big difference in your fish keeping, share them below. We all learn from each other on this channel, and always be learning is the motto of the channel. I hope to see you on Saturday at the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. That's every Saturday at 11 a.m. We get into a whole bunch of fun topics, and very often the most fun topics are the ones brought up by you in your questions. So tune in Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And if you like the video, be sure to give the channel a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell, subscribe, do all that. We're almost at 50,000. That's getting exciting. And if you'd like to support the channel and the work that I do here, consider becoming a Garage Gang member and a Patreon monthly supporter. Starts for as low as $3 a month. The details are in the description. Thank you, my friends. Hope to see you again soon. That's it for me. Bye-bye.